Very good morning to everybody. Thank you all for joining in for this wonderful, much needed discussion of the hour with none other than Dr. Priyanka. Welcome to Anahata Yoga Zone, Dr. Priyanka. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Pratibha. Very good evening. Very good evening,
Okay, even
everyone. And
good evening.
thanks for inviting me and CtrlAltHeal. And I would say, yes, as you said, this is a very, very high topic to discuss on. Yeah.
Before we get on to the wonderful, insightful discussion and we take the evening forward, just let us know if our audio and video is okay, everybody. Just give us a thumbs up for those of you whose videos are on. Great. And anybody else also, if you're not still traveling from office to home or still not in the process of finishing your cooking or looking after your kids or for that matter, any family member, you can have your videos on. So we'll take your questions towards the end of the session. So just hold your questions till the end. We'll try to address as many things as possible involving around Ayurveda and menopause, but 1 hour is definitely not enough, but we'll try our level best to kind of discuss the very burning questions that we usually have around Ayurveda and menopause. But before we do that, I would like to once again thank Dr. Priyanka from Control Alt Heal to find out time from her busy schedule. And I know she's very busy because she dons so many hats. With 20 more years of experience in Ayurveda, fitness, and wellness, she's one person whom I look up to. And I always, whenever I meet her, I tell her, you have 24 hours, right? As we all do. How do you manage to do as much as you do? So welcome, Dr. Priyanka. And I'm so glad that you could take out time for our students here and share your wisdom on the topics.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words and intro, Pratibha. Thank you.
So we'll jump straight into it, right from the very basic, from the very beginning. For people who have heard the word Ayurveda but are not sure of what Ayurveda is. So very briefly, can you tell us what is Ayurveda? When we say the word Ayurveda, what is Ayurveda? And yes, you can make your notes, girls, because it is going to be very, very educative and informative.
Sure. So see, as the Ayurveda word says that this is a Veda of Ayu. Veda, knowledge, and Ayu, your life, right? So this is all about the life, how we should understand the life, how we should live the life, right? Okay, how we should prevent to not to get into any kind of diseases, and if we got something. And it is the body, right? And it is the environment what is changes every day. So definitely we keep getting something, then how to treat it with the lifestyle changes, with the diet changes. But if required, then there are another ways in Ayurveda how to get it better, right? Okay, but it starts from basics and it ends on the basics. So Ayurveda, basically, if I say, this is basically about the balance, so people say that, okay, this is yet not that much researched, but when we see the research which is coming across, for example, I give you a very raw example. These days, if you see the research is saying that no more the cholesterol is reason for the heart attack, okay. I would not fully disagree or agree with this, but if you see in Ayurveda has told it long back that it is nothing about only the fats what you have, but it is about your metabolism. How well you metabolize your food. Is it obstructing your channels, or your channels have that elasticity to let go the fat, whatever stage it is, right? Okay. So this knowledge was already there in Ayurveda, which definitely we wait for the research. And then when research has done and they have come to that, that tells that yes, the root, our roots, our tradition is strong. We just need to follow what it says and as I told, it is all about balance. There can be the difficult names, kind of the humors or energies which Ayurveda follows, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but it is absolutely similar, which the functions are air, sun, and earth and water in our environment. Same way these energies happen in the body, and if they all are in the balance, we go good. If there is some imbalance, definitely we need to put effort to make it balance, right? So I think to start with, this intro is enough. If you will be having question, you can put in chat and we will take in last.
So to sum it up, or to kind of briefly say, we can say that Ayurveda, our body is made up of 5 elements, just like the whole universe is made up of 5 elements. So can we say that Ayurveda actually works to bring about a balance in these 5 elements so that we can lead a disease-free life? And if at all there is a disease, we can prevent it with the knowledge of the 5 elements. Can we say that?
Absolutely. You well, I mean, I couldn't justice how you have put it. It is awesome. So it is all about that what nature is, the same nature balance we need to get in our body.
Very nice, very, very nice. And why I could explain it, because I am from the yoga background, and in yoga also, it's all
Yes.
about balancing the 5 elements. Any imbalance in the 5 elements, that brings about disease. That's what the yogic science says. And as yoga and Ayurveda sister concerns, I think what the belief system is very, very similar.
Yes.
Now, tell me, Dr. Priyanka, Ayurveda is also, I would say, as old or maybe older, about 5,000 years as yoga is. So, how is it still relevant in today's fast changing environment and world? It's so easy for everybody to just pop a pill these days. Why should we go through the entire process? And it is a little longer procedure. I mean, we can't deny that. So, how do you say and feel that Ayurveda is still relevant in today's fast changing lifestyle?
Sure. Yeah. So very relevant question. And half of the answer I have covered in the intro, but I will little bit more explain. See, one thing what we need to understand, uh, it should be any treatment we plan, it should not be rigid. I should not say that it is Ayurveda or it is allopathy or it is homeopathy, right? Okay. So we need to see what you need to plan for your body. Sometimes the situation is very acute. Somebody is going through a heart attack, somebody is going through some injury, right? Okay, in those cases there is hardly any place for Ayurveda. Okay, so we have to take care of that immediate situation, and we are blessed with the modern pathy and the kind of development it has done that we are able to save the life, right? But if we want to protect our body, we want to prevent not getting into those kind of emergency situations, or if it has, we have some time, right? Then the management which is provided by Ayurveda, which includes yoga, diet, everything, along with the herbal formulation, then definitely I will say Ayurveda makes lot of sense, because it makes the cure or the management from the root cause, not polishing. Right. Okay. So I would say, like, if suppose on Diwali or on any festival, when we are putting decoration in our home, we start from cleansing our body. We don't directly get into the decoration, right? If we do that, it won't look nice. First, we need to declutter it. We need to put out the things which we are not using, right? Okay. And then further, we need to get it decorated. Same way Ayurveda says that first cleanse your body. Whatever the toxins, whatever the imbalances are there in the body, take it out and then start managing it. So that means the way of treating, the way of management is from the roots, and results comes awesome. For example, if it is some cholesterol, right? Okay, so now in cholesterol, what happens, one way is that I give the blood thinners or the anti-cholesterol medicines, and cholesterol is getting developed. On the other side, we are going to decrease it. That is one part. But Ayurveda approach is first, whatever is excess cholesterol, take it out through Panchkarma. Then what you need to develop your liver, you need to develop your fire to the level where you are able to digest your fats. Even if you are little bit having the tasty food which might be sometime unhealthy, but you will not clog your channels if you are going in the Ayurveda way. So that way, I believe, if you want to enjoy the life, then Ayurveda is must.
So you mean to say that with Ayurveda, we are not only just treating the symptoms, but we are going into the root cause of the problem. and managing and prevention, both of that is taken care of. So
Absolutely.
just having a pill or a blood thinner for cholesterol, instead of that, first of all, you are reducing or releasing or taking away all the cholesterol from the body, and then also working on the body
Not
part.
going further to develop
Yeah,
the bad cholesterols.
fantastic. Very, very well said. Thank you so much. Can you throw, I know we don't have much time and we would like to go towards menopause, but can you also tell us little bit about the prakritis? What are these prakritis? And I shared with my students, which I shared it with you also, that different prakriti people should do different kinds of exercise. So a little very briefly, if you can share on and touch upon that also.
Yeah. So as we mentioned that environment is made up of 5 elements, and so we, right? Okay. So the components like air say and the component space, they both mix together and make the energy called vata in the body. Okay, the sun energy, the sun component makes pitta, which is known as metabolism or the fire in our body, right? Okay, and the earth and water component, they come together and make kapha, which is anabolism in the body. So the when we say the air, if you see in environment, air is responsible to move everything, right? Okay, we cannot breathe, we cannot even hear, we can't do any activity without air. Same way, the actions are done by sun energy and earth and water energy in the form of metabolism and anabolism, but the driving force for this is vata, which you can relate with the nervous system, with the endocrine system. Okay, you see the senses which we get, or the hormones which run from one place to another, these run the body, right? Okay, now the metabolism is nothing but breaking your, not only the food, but your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, every single thing into smaller pieces. Okay, most of the time we understand metabolism only breaking our food, but not. Each and every emotion, feeling is broken into the smaller pieces. It has been broken into smaller pieces, but what it should be used for, that is water and earth component comes as a kapha energy, which is known as anabolism, and convert into desired tissue levels. For example, what we see, that all is the form of kapha, whether it is our skin, whether our internal organs, blood, your mucus, each and everything has come through the anabolism, which is the tell existence of kapha. But if you want to just relate kapha, major portion in the body, that is mucus, whether it is in your mouth, in the joints, in lungs, in heart, in your brain, whatever the moisture, the mucus what we see, that is kapha. The fire in our stomach, in our each and every tissue, that is your pitta. And the sensation, the hormones which flow throughout the body through the nerves and through the endocrine system, that all is vata. So if they all three works in synchrony, we are going good. Yeah, one thing which most important, what I will try to say, most of the people confuse that, oh, if they are vata high, it is a problem, or if they have some another humor high, it might be the problem. See, we all are born with one kind of body type. That body type is our strength, right? Okay, so you don't need to worry with which you are born. It is not going to cause you problem until and unless you are keeping the other humors in balance. Problem is only then when this any of the humors from the physiological nature turns into some pathological changes and obstruct each other's way. Then only the problem come, and where the expert comes in the picture, the expert will tell you that this is the imbalance by your checking the pulse or through the symptoms or both way, and then the person will help you to balance it.
So whether a person is vata type or kapha type or pitta type, there is nothing, no harm in that. It is just their identity in a way.
Yes,
From
yes.
the Ayurvedic perspective is what we can say.
Yeah, so I
And
will
all
give
that we need
the
to do is,
example, Pratibha, here. Sorry, I mean, so that the everyone is very clear. For example, snake. Snake is born with poison, right? So it will be problematic for others, but not for snake, Right. Okay. So that is called Prakriti, with which we are born. That is our strength. We need to enjoy it, but we also need to see that, okay, there is a tendency, if I am Vata high, there is a tendency, if I will take more Vata foods, it can go to the pathological level. Then it will be a problem. And because I am Vata, my tendency will be running fast, eating fast, right? Okay. There I need to bring the contribution of other balances, give them importance so that it doesn't go to the pathological level. Hope I am clear.
Yeah, so I remember during our yoga, when we were studying yoga, we had a chapter on Ayurveda also. And the Ayurveda teacher, she explained us that a Vata person, think of he or she to be your child, and your child is a Vata person. So you
Yes.
tell the child to go down and get something from the shop, that or else you think of you're having three children. One is a Vata type, one is Kapha, and one is Pitta. And you've asked all three of them to go and fetch something from the shop below. The Vata person, the Vata type, will be the first person to jump and say, yes, mom, I want to go and do it. But while he goes to the shop, he meets his
Distraction.
friends, so many distractions, exactly. He meets his friends, he talks to them, he gets a phone call, he talks to them, he finds something in the shop, he looks into that, and he comes back home. And the mom asks, have you got that thing? And he's like,
Forget.
oh, I forgot. So that is a typical Vata person. What
Absolutely.
about a Kapha person? Kapha person, you keep telling that person to go and fetch something from the shop, last person to get up and go and get something. So they just want to stay where they are because earth element.
But once they have
And the
moved,
Pitta person, more or less, yes,
huh,
please add on. Yes,
no, that's what I was saying. But once they have moved,
they
right?
will do
So
the
they
work
will,
very properly, very
huh,
sincerely.
planned.
Right.
They will add the value when they are bringing. So they will, if there is was something else to be sorted, they will sort that also.
Great. And can you add about the characteristics of Pitta? What
Huh,
will a
so
Pitta child do?
so Pitta is average, okay. So it will consistently, it will go, it won't take immediate action, but it won't delay that much also, right? Okay. And it will take the appropriate time. And yes, if there is something, it will put the mind also. Suppose the purpose for what the person has gone, it was not that beneficial. So they will put their logic also, that, oh, this is not fruitful, let's not do it, or let's do. So that way the intelligence factors is with Pitta. So that way, and you explained
Very rightly
very
put,
well.
very, very rightly put.
Yeah.
I'll give another analogy from the
Yes.
yoga perspective. So, a class full of students, and I'm teaching that class full of students. Now, if the person is a Vata student or a Vata person, I have not even finished showing the asan, and the Vata person will already be in the asan, and he or she will be the first one to come out of the asan. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
Kapha person, I will finish demonstrating, and the Kapha person is still staring at me. Then I'll tell, okay, now do the asana.
Yeah.
Then that person will do the asana, but he will do it absolutely correctly. All the instructions he will follow to the T. And again, a Pitta person, he will be average in between Vata and Kapha. He will do the asana once the demonstration is over, and he will also kind of bring in his or her own element. So this is very broadly and briefly a Vata, Pitta, and Kapha characteristics. You
Oh, so well. I
were
think how
saying
everyone,
something, Dr.
yeah.
Priyanka.
No, I think,
When I hear this, I clearly relate that I'm a complete Vata person.
but see, the beauty of this is your strength. Okay, so how fast you can do, the other people cannot do that, right? But on the other side, you need to keep feeding your Pitta and Kapha also with those kind of habits, inculcating it in you, so that your Vata is not going into the pathological level.
Fantastic. Very, very nice.
So,
Thank you so much. And this topic, this conversation will continue and can continue for hours together. But I am actually jumping into the menopause part of it.
yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Priyanka, we all know about menopause, but we are not knowing, or we are not prepared to go through menopause. But
Hmm.
before we get into menopause, tell us a little about perimenopause and what is the age when we can expect perimenopause to set in. We'll start with that.
Yeah, sure. See, first of all, I would like to say that we need to understand what is menopause. Okay. So this is something which we need to understand, that we are kind of ending our reproductive life, as we had started it with the name of menarche, our puberty. Most of the girls from the 12 to 14 years or 15 years, they show up with the menstruation, right? Okay. So that time our ovaries start producing the mature eggs, okay. Very interesting points, which differs from the males, that we females get all the eggs from our birth time in millions and billions, okay. These are always in our body. Only thing is that when we get our age and the estrogen production starts going on rise in our body with our all the hormonal activities through pituitary and all, with that our these tiny eggs which were lying in the body, out of that each one egg start maturing once, one egg in a month, one time from the one ovary, another month from the another ovary, alternative from each ovary every month, but one egg every month, right? Okay. Now with that, we know the processes and all, or we can discuss in another sessions how the all this happen. We menstruate, and this process is keep going on, and this process might look like a burden, but it gives us all the beauty which females carry, whether it is the glow on their face, whether it is the luster in the hair, whether it is the thickness in hair, whether it is the muscle toning and the shape, the waist slim and the pear shaped body. These all are with the help of estrogen. Okay. Now, definitely the progesterone also comes in the picture, and that also plays the role, but the major role is from the estrogen part. Now, what happens that as we grow, we know that the reproduction part which was required from our body, that it needs to get shut down. Otherwise the female cannot carry the babies after the age of 45 or 50. Then it will become a never ending process. In that process, body starts lowering down our estrogen and progesterone production, and there we start getting the impact. Most of the time it starts from the age of 40. Slowly it proceeds. It majorly comes 45 on the peak level, which from where we call it as a perimenopausal time, where the production has been lowered significantly, but still we are menstruating. It can be irregular, or it can be heavy, or it can be missed out periods also sometimes, some or the other things, which tells us that okay, now the hormones are going on the reduction side, right? Okay. Now it may end for 3-4 years. It might taper off only in few months or in few days itself. You missed one your period and it never came back, right? Okay. But as I said, it might happen from 4 to 5 years. So from 45 to 55, we count, this is the age where females go through the menopausal age. And 45 to 47, 48 mostly happens as a perimenopausal age. 48 to 50, most of 52, I will say, most of the females go through menopause. And after that, the age, whatever it is, but specifically up to the 65 of age, is called postmenopausal age, okay.
Up to 65.
Up to 65, because see, there are multiple theories, Pratibha, right? Okay. But if you see, body goes through a lot up to 65. It is not that in 2-3 years the impact has gone, because the body was under the nurture of estrogen and progesterone for such a long time. The calcium in your bones, the absorption of all the minerals, this all was helped by these hormones. Now when they have depleted, it's not that the impact is going to end in 2-3 years. It really goes up to 65, and that is basically the miss out what all of us we do. We don't care that this age is going to come. We need to prepare our body. We don't care when the menopause is there that something major is going to happen, or in the postmenopausal stage, how we need to bring those supplements on the place of these hormones, which at least keep doing the function in the minimum amount or in the minimum way. But obviously it cannot happen exactly what it was, and that's why we age and we all do that. But if it happens properly, then lot of problems can be skipped, right? When we call it menopause, when actually for the whole year, for one whole year, if the female has not menstruated, then this is called that the person has reached the menopause level. If after that, sometimes after, even after 1 year, 3 4 months after somebody is again menstruating, the checkups should go in thorough, because that can be some another concern. Don't consider it the regular menstrual cycle has come and they have not met the menopause. Just in case if the person was having some kind of hormonal load in their body, okay, in those cases there can be the variation. But if there naturally there was a miss of 1 year and after that any menstruation is coming, be careful and be concernful and get through a overall check. Why it happens? As I told, ovarian function has gone, has declined, and the estrogen production is not happening, and the stage of progesterone is not coming, and there, in absence of these hormones, we call it menopause. Yeah. So I think
Okay.
this all is enough. You can ask me if anything I need to elaborate more.
Oh, yes, there are so many questions. While you were saying, there are so many questions which has popped up. And I can see our participants have also been writing the questions. Please hold it. I will address all your questions. By the end of the discussion, you will get answers to already the questions that you have listed. But if not, then we'll address it.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Priyanka, can we say that menopause, at what age a woman gets her menopause? Is it genetics? Is it largely inherited, and is it genetic? Can we say that?
Most of the time it follows the pattern. If our moms has met menopause in the age of 53, so likely we will go in 51 to 54. Okay, if they have met in 43, then likely we will end up with the 42 or 40 to 45. That
But
is
we have to take into consideration our lifestyle also, isn't it?
absolutely. So this is not the only reason. See, the variation comes when there is a, suppose it was a good timely menopause, right? Okay. But now me as a daughter, I am thinking, oh, I have a good stage where my mom ended up in the right kind of stage, but I'm increasing my weight. I'm not able, mindful about that. I'm spending the night sleepless, right? Okay. And I'm eating whatever I want to enjoy. That obviously is going to impact my body, my ovarian functioning, and it will go haywire, and something or the else will develop in the body, which is going to decrease, most of the time decrease, not increase is a bless, okay. But most of the time it decrease your age of menopause, and that means that you are reducing your feminine component, which is definitely not in favor.
Um, a lot of us, when we are menstruating, we're just waiting for menopause. Okay. Most of us, we know that we are going to hit menopause, and after that, we will stop menstruating. But we are, fortunately or unfortunately, even now, we are the educated generation. But many of us, we still don't know what to expect during perimenopause and menopause. What are the changes in the body that can happen, and how we can take care of those changes? So you can kind of list a few, and then if there are more, then we can address it also. I know this will be a little lengthy answer, but I think this is the
I will
burning
try to
question.
sum up quickly. See, it all is that how was you going in your day-to-day life, right? Okay. If there are few variation from that, and whenever it is, so we need to understand that it is due to some maybe hormonal changes. Okay. And we always experience this in multiple phases. When we ovulate in every menstruation period, that is the 12th day to the 14th day, that time also we feel some change in our body. For example, it is scientifically proved that in that time our body temperature goes 1 degree higher. Okay, ठीक है. And then when we menstruate, before that, 2-3 days before, there are lot many changes in our body. For example, the mood swings, or maybe
The PMS.
PMS, which we call, right? Okay, the acidity. Some people have lot of loose motion. Some people have lot of pain. Some people have stiffness. Some people have sleepless nights. So many changes we experience it throughout the life. Few people experience it less, few people experience it more. Again, it depends on the body type, it depends on the lifestyle, the diet what the person is taking, and definitely the some component of the genetics, or maybe some pathological things which are in the body. For example, somebody is going through the PCOS, or somebody is having some fibroid, right? Okay, so those things definitely bring the different kind of changes in your normal menstruation. Kind of something same when happen every single day. Okay, for example, hot flushes, palpitation, night sweats, vaginal dryness, unexplained lack of energy, mood swings, irritations, sleep disturbances, right? Okay, and then consistently having irregular period, low period, or the heavy periods, having some kind of heaviness in your lower body, right? These all kind of symptoms, if are happening in a continuous stage, there you should understand that yes, this person is might be going through the perimenopausal stage, if the age is also resembling what is expected. If it is happening much before, for example, to these days I listen, the people come to me in the 37-year, 38-year, and they say, oh, we are having these changes, I think I am going through the early menopause. Oh no, it is not you are going through, you are inviting early menopause if it is so. Okay, but otherwise these can be a sudden kind of hormonal changes which needs to be addressed, which needs to be corrected, and you need to go back to your original stage and meet your menopause when it was meant to be, right? Okay, so this is the difference between the I would say hormonal imbalance and the perimenopausal stage. The symptoms can overlap, but the factors actually suggest that how frequently it is going, what is the pattern, what are the another symptoms, that all tell us that it is the menopause or not. But the confirmatory factor is your ultrasound. Okay, whenever the person is going through, still even if the person is 47 to 48, we usually advise to go through one ultrasound scan where we see that ovaries have started reducing in the size, the follicles are not developing, and that is where we understand that yes, the real menopause is happening, and we can call it the perimenopausal stage.
That's very, very, very informative. And in fact, one of our students have also asked that most of us see the symptoms even before 40. And you've already answered that if it is not between or after 40, if it is in your early 30s or say late 30s after 35, that means there is some hormonal imbalance in the body, which you cannot right away term it as perimenopause.
No.
So you need to have a proper checkup to then kind of confirm that, what is happening. And only if you are in your perimenopausal age, which is from 40.
Yeah, it starts from 40.
Shall we say 40?
Major 45 to 50 it goes.
Right. So that is very, very informative, because a lot of people these days, they say that they get perimenopausal symptoms even at 35. So then you would say that that is not really perimenopause.
So you can treat with yoga, I can treat with the herbal formulation and diet changes, but definitely we should come together and get it changed, because this is changeable. This is not the right stage.
Thank you. That is really very informative. Now,
Yeah.
there are various symptoms, and the symptoms vary from women to women in their perimenopause and menopause. What
Hanji.
is the reason that the symptoms are so varied? I mean, we can understand the intensity, that the intensity can be high and low, but even the symptoms are varied from women to women. Can you
Yes.
throw some light on that?
See, here, if I say we need to understand and we all agree in one manner that each and every person is different, right? Okay. In multiple ways, in their how they have born, right? What was their body type? How they are brought up? What was the environment? What is the food? What is the kind of lifestyle they are going through? So this basically make a difference in the body, and accordingly the symptoms are experienced. If I say from a superficial level, so I will say age, ethnicity, weight, pre-existing conditions, right, hormonal levels, genetics, stress, these all makes the difference. Even how the ovarian hormonal fluctuation was happening in each female is different, and accordingly the symptoms come. But if I divide it in a structured manner, that actually lands up on the Ayurveda body type. Okay, so as you described that the tendency of the people, how they react, same way, if the person is vata dominant, the what happens, anxiety, nervousness, insomnia, dryness, irregular cycles, these kind of components, these kind of symptoms are more in the vata dominant female. If the female is pitta dominant, then hot flushes, irritability, acidity, chronic inflammation, acute inflammations, these kind of symptoms more happen with the pitta type. The person can feel feverish always, the person can end up having the infections what were not earlier in the body, right? Okay, when I say inflammation, it mostly turn into an infection. The kapha body types, they mostly deal with the depression kind of symptoms. Very low tendency goes, lethargy, not doing anything, sitting some one place. Weight gain is more in kapha type bodies, okay. And also the प्रोकास्टिनेशन, कर लेंगे, हो जाएगा, ओके नहीं अभी तो मैं कर ही नहीं सकती हूँ, these kind of tendencies start coming in kapha body types. And the people, obviously nobody is kind of one body type, most of the people are blend, vata pitta, pitta kapha, vata kapha. Okay, so those, if it is vata pitta, both kind of symptoms will come together. The hot flushes and the anxiety can come together. If the person is vata kapha, weight gain and the kind of anxiety, insomnia, these all can happen. But it is a very structured way which gives us very clear cut understanding that either the body type was that, or the pathological, this imbalance throughout the time has come into the picture and it is now dominating, and those kind of symptoms are coming around, and that way we need to find out the solution. And as I said, it is little bit different. For example, the people who are staying in the hot areas, obviously the heat is more in the body and those kind of symptoms might be more. And the people who are in a very very low temperature areas, already the body will be towards kapha and the symptoms also will resemble the kapha body type. So I think this way, the understanding and not comparing with each other, राइट, विच इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, कि ओ मुझे तो बहुत ज्यादा सिम्टम्स आ रहे हैं, और मे बी आई एम वेरी सिक, और considering menopause as a disease, okay, that kind of understanding and that kind of stress can be avoided by understanding the body type and managing it accordingly.
Oh, that's also very, very informative and interesting. So, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your climatic conditions, depending on the food that you eat, and most importantly, depending on the prakriti that you are, vata, pitta, pitta, kapha. So, there will be variation in symptoms, and it is normal that different people will have different kind of symptoms during their perimenopause and menopause.
Yes.
Now, the symptoms, the most important ones, hot flashes. How do we deal with it? And how night sweats, hot flashes, how do we deal with it and what we can do during menopause, and also before even we get into perimenopause and menopause? what are the things or what are the steps that can be taken by a woman so that they can kind of deal with all of these problems? Especially, let's take one at a time: hot flashes and night sweats. How do we deal with this?
Very, very valuable question. And most of the time, the people are unaware of this, and they understand that might be they have gone into some cardiac situation, because the symptoms resemble so much. And it goes as an that maybe the emergency is declared, or sometimes the people think that something is happening which is meticulous and not correlated with the physiological changes which are happening in the body. Okay, so see the prevention, how it becomes, and the management. First of all, we need to understand that estrogen is the culprit, right? Okay.
Now, one thing I've understood, that estrogen is the queen. So
Yes.
we should all be like, yes, we want more estrogen in our body.
है ना? तो एक तो when we are in our full youth, we need to prevent it to deplete as much as we can do it. So we should keep our lifestyle good. And there, the one, sleeping on a proper time, doing regular physical activity like yoga, pranayam, meditation, okay, walking, these all activities keep your parasympathetic system balanced and keep the estrogen intact in your body. The reservoir is there, right? Okay. And then eating the right kind of food, the estrogen loving foods, when we are taking, for example, the seeds, okay, specifically the flax seeds, the sunflower seeds, these all kind of seeds, when we take, the hormonal balance is good. uh, there are multiple, but I am taking very, very high grade foods here, when because we need to keep the discussion concise. Avoid the foods which are increasing heat in your body. For example, tea, caffeine, coffee, right? And the spicy foods, alcohol, smoking, these kind of habits should be avoided, so that we are not increasing the heat. Heat is absolutely a enemy of estrogen. It cuts down and it throws out of the body before time, right? Okay. Then start introducing phytoestrogen in your body. What are phytoestrogen? It is definitely not hormonal replacement. Okay, we have to avoid hormonal replacement, because most of the time what happens when these symptoms start coming, and the gynecologist and the experts understand
HRT.
that, yeah, HRT, that the female is going through this transformation, and the changes are taking a toll on the health and the emotions, right? Okay, so they start replacing, giving it from the outside. That might cause multiple side effects, and that also cause some kind of tumors also. Until and unless there is no another way, I will never advise HRT, and most of the time now it is banned also, okay. So what we can do, if we are having the issues, we need to replace it with the natural estrogens which is present in the foods. Those are known as phytoestrogen. Okay. Phytoestrogen, for example, take shatavar, which is a asparagus, right? Herb. As I mentioned, the seeds, your soya, if not the thyroid issue is there, right? Okay. These kind of foods are having a good amount of estrogen, should be eaten a lot, but it won't impact your body until and unless stress is not taken care. How will the stress taken care? Go for the regular massages, as I mentioned, go for the regular exercise, yoga, walking, sleep properly, give importance to your body, and increase your happiness index, so that when you are taking these phytoestrogens, these are going to assimilate in the body, not just coming and going through the stool out,
So it
okay,
will be absorbed
absorbed
and
properly.
assimilated better.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Pratibha, it needs to be started as early possible, from the
How early is it?
from the age of 25. We need to keep having our reservoir big and big, and then we need to peak it up, these mindful eating and the mindful lifestyle, when we are towards the 40 and above. then
Right.
obviously we will manage it well. But once it is there, then as I mentioned, expert are going to help you. They will tell you the kind of yoga what you need to do. Right now you were doing the preventive, but now you will do the curative under the expert opinion, how to revert it. For example, Sheetli pranayam, right? Okay.
I was coming to that. Yes.
It helps lot. I mean,
Yes.
wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So what kind of foods exactly needs to be given? What kind of supplements, vitamins needs to be given to absorb those foods? That all should go with the expert advice, and definitely it is taken care. Primrose oil is a very, very good thing which we day to day use, and it gives so good results. Chamomile tea, rose tea, these all are wonderful management things, but please take under expert opinion.
But chamomile, I think, can be taken even otherwise. I mean, or is there are
It's an
negative effects?
antioxidant. It is an antioxidant. Nobody needs to just go for expert advice for this. But yes, if the person is having some kind of issues, cardiac issues, or some diabetes or kidney kind of issues, then definitely for these simple teas also expert opinion is required.
But on a general basis, most of us can take
Yes,
the chamomile. And
absolutely.
on a general basis, can primrose also be taken? Or
No,
primrose only under supervision,
yes,
only if it is advised by the doctor?
absolutely. It should not be taken over the counter.
I see. Got it. So just to sum it up very broadly, estrogen is your friend. My friends here, estrogen is your friend, and you will have to keep the estrogen reserves. And how do we keep the estrogen reserves? By living a healthy lifestyle, sleeping on time, most importantly, stress. Okay, stress is something which we cannot prevent. There are so many factors around us by which we get stress. What we need to understand is how we can manage stress. What are the things that we should do that will raise and build our parasympathetic nervous system against the sympathetic nervous system?
Yeah.
So things like yoga, things like pranayam, meditation, sound healing, anything which makes you say, this feels so nice. Okay, even if I'm making you do 108 Surya Namaskar, at the end of it, if you're saying, this feels nice, then your purpose is done. I'm just kidding. Along with 108 Surya Namaskar, you have to do Sheetli pranayam.
Yeah.
So whatever heat is generated in the body, you need to balance it by cooling it down. So what Dr. Priyanka said, doing your yoga properly, doing your pranayam properly, doing all the activities which de-stresses your body and your mind. Along with that, sleeping on time, having food supplements which are rich in phytoestrogens like soya, provided you don't have thyroid issue. Then also having flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and as she mentioned, some kind of chamomile tea. So, and start doing this, start implementing these things right now, so that by the time you hit perimenopause and menopause, your symptom of night flash, the sweats and your hot flashes are reduced considerably. Can we say that will happen? I mean, that can help to manage the hot flashes?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, that's what I'm saying. The myth is once it is there, it is there. You can't do, or you take it as a disease, and you just get into more and more depression. That is the problem. Okay, don't take it granted. Change it. You can do it. You can manage it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'll jump straight away into the next question. And I'm sure after listening to this question, everybody will be even more attentive. And I'm sure you have also guessed it what I'm coming to. The weight change during menopause, the metabolism, the slowing down of metabolism, and the weight change. You're doing everything that you were doing in your 20s and 30s. You're exercising well, you're eating the right kind of food, you're having a balanced diet. Yet, as soon as menopause or perimenopause hits you, you don't know just what's happened. Where is all the weight coming from? So, how do we manage that? And again, do we need to take preventive measures so that we can maintain a specific weight or sought after weight even during our menopause?
I mean,
or is it inevitable that we will have the weight
no,
gain?
nothing. For that again, so nothing is which cannot be managed. But this is kind of like most sensible and most vulnerable question in this period, right? Okay, and people feel helpless and let it go wherever it wants to go. That should not be done. See, again, I would say the precaution should start as soon as possible from the earliest age you can do, and the savior is your muscle, okay. So
Strength training.
yeah, so see, the diet, the strength training, what you do, keep focusing on your muscle. Don't try to be very, very lean in your youth age.
I'm just interrupting here.
Huh.
Girls, the Wednesday classes, iron yoga, dumbbells. I see the attendance drops down considerably on Wednesdays. So now Dr. Priyanka is
This is
talking.
must, you
Hear
are
it, listen
blessed.
to her, and be present on Wednesdays.
No, I mean to say, see, no, but almost all the yoga trainers doesn't take care of this fact, and if your trainer is taking care of that fact, it is a huge blessing. Please focus on that, because your muscle is your savior, okay. So if you are growing it from the beginning, first of all, you won't get these kind of issues, okay. And even if you are going to get, you can manage it fast. You will not accumulate lot of fat around the abdomen, which is a bigger risk and killer for your cardiac health as well. It welcomes the more and more insulin resistance kind of issues. It welcomes the fibroid kind of issues, okay. Many more. I mean, if I start naming it, the session will end with those names, the complications only which the fat accumulation around the belly can bring. But you can control it. Don't worry on the weight. I tell you, focus on your waist hip ratio. Okay. Focus on your muscle mass. Even if you are 10 or 12 kg higher in the weight which you were earlier, it's absolutely fine, because the hips weight is your actually the protection when you are going through the menopause, okay. The muscle mass, it is a protection, right? Okay. Now, what you can
Can you elaborate on that? I'm sorry, I'm breaking your line of thought.
no, so this is important thing we can repeat. See, most of the time what we say, we count the pounds, we count how we are weighing on the weighing scale, right? Okay. Little bit change is going to happen, and it's not bad, okay. The shape is important, okay. So the waist size should be minimum in your body. The fat around the abdomen should not be. And the blessing with the females is the pear shaped body is a absolutely bliss in disgust, okay. This give you protection for the cardiac issues, this gives protection for the diabetes, this gives protection for the mm, unwanted cells which we name tumor or another cancerous growth, right? Okay. So that is why the waist hip ratio is considered the most phenomenal factor in female journey, at least, okay. And we go under the stress of getting skinny and all that. No, it doesn't work, okay. So muscle mass should be there in your body, and when you have the index right, the fat ratio should be less, right? Okay. If that is there, then good, you don't need to worry, whatever is the extra fat accumulated, it can be taken away from multiple ways. One is take high fiber diet, take protein diet, but it should be digested, okay. And even the fiber also, it should be digested. So you need to raise your metabolism also, where yoga, strength training, marvelous. No, nothing can help more than these activities to raise the metabolism, right? Okay. Then add these kind of omega 3s which comes from chia seeds, which comes from flax seeds, so that your good cholesterol is there, and it protects the bad cholesterol not only from the increasing, but if increased, it will keep it under the control. It will not let it play notorious,
I
okay.
see. Okay.
So you can take an example which commonly I give to all my clients. The bad fats are plastic. These spreads, Okay, this obstructs. Okay, we say ki what in the water bodies don't put the plastic and all. Why? Because it obstructs. Now what will be the beneficial thing? It is the big stones. If you put stone over that plastic, it keeps it down, it doesn't let it play it role, right? Okay, so the plastic is low density lipoproteins, bad cholesterol, triglycerides, which spreads, and the HDL is those stones which make them in control. Don't let it grow, don't let it play around, don't let it obstruct. So the energy is with you. Okay, and more the muscle mass you have, the more oxygen goes into the body. More oxygen goes, that means your good cholesterol formation is more. Okay, that all goes around. We cannot pick one thing that okay, we do the only exercise or we do only the diet, right? Okay, and or we go some kind of take the heat therapies and all. This doesn't work. So the preparation from the beginning, consistency during all the session, and the highly inclination towards your health after 40 is the key.
Very, very informative again. We'll take the last question. Which natural or holistic treatments are very, very good for treating menopausal symptoms?
Keep the circulation up. Okay, laugh more, work out more, do go through the massages, for example the regular oil implementation on your body, powder massages which are called udvartanam, cleansing therapies which keep the liver clean and the kidney clean, so that the blood circulation automatically goes fast, and also the lungs, right? Okay, and de-stress, right? If the sympathetic system is mostly activated, and I give you the most example, don't just scroll reels and the your all these feeds, because this make the sympathetic system really overtake the parasympathetic system. And what is sympathetic system? In normal language, if I say, it makes you fly or fight. Okay, you are absolutely always in the action mode, but internally you are not getting the retention in the body to plan well, to execute well. You are just hammering without knowing what you are doing. In this condition, your body releases adrenaline and your channels get constriction, and you can feel asthma kind of things, dyspnea, breathlessness, anxiety. These all are the symptoms of overactivated sympathetic system. Once you are allowing your parasympathetic system, your blood circulation will happily go. Each and every cell will breathe. You must have gone through yoga nidra with Pratibha, right? Okay, and you see how each and every cell is relaxed. The oxygen supply is more, metabolism will be high, and you will enjoy.
Very nice. I think I just want to kind of add on to the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, because I feel that is where everything kind of is connected and starts up. So just to add on to what Dr. Priyanka mentioned, so two basic kinds of nervous system: sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. None of them are bad. It is only that one goes out of balance, goes very high, and the other goes very low, then the problem starts happening. You need the activation of sympathetic nervous system to do your day-to-day lives and to do a lot of functions and actions in your daily lives. But the problem is the sympathetic nervous system in today's time and day, it stays on the rise always. We are so action oriented these days. Everything needs to be done. We are so action oriented. Mentally, physically, we are overactive. We are multitasking. This is the need of the hour. Yes, we have to do it. If we are not multitasking, then we will be left behind in the so-called race. But along with this activation of sympathetic nervous system, are you also paying attention to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, renew, and digestion? So when your sympathetic nervous system is activated, then what happens? The energy or the blood flow is in the periphery. Think of it like you are wanting to do some action. You want to fight an animal. So you need blood in your hands. And if the animal is too big, you need to run away from there. So you need blood circulation in your legs. But at that moment, when your sympathetic nervous system is triggered, then your digestive system, excretory system, reproductive system, they slow down, they take a back seat. Because when you're fighting an animal in the modern day, think of it as a stress. When you are stressing, all these systems will take a back seat. Now imagine our sympathetic nervous system is always up, is always on the raise. So automatically our digestive system, which means the metabolism, our reproductive system, excretory system takes a back seat. So all the functions related to these systems will also slow down, and you will have symptoms which comes because of the slowing down of these symptoms. Now, how do you again make these symptoms work to their optimal? By working on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, renew, and digest. So how do you activate your parasympathetic nervous system? Doing things which de-stresses you, like a proper sleep, a good quality sleep on time, doing pranayama, doing some yoga, doing things which make you feel happy, okay? Which makes you feel, okay, I'm not overburdened or stressed. All of these things will help you to raise your parasympathetic nervous system. So in today's time in life, we have this imbalance where sympathetic nervous system is always on the rise and parasympathetic nervous system is low. So we need to just pull up the parasympathetic nervous system to find the balance. And that can be one of the main factors which will take care of a lot of diseases and a lot of problems, not only during menopause or before menopause, but other diseases also. So very important that you look into making your parasympathetic nervous system grow. So that was very, very informative, Dr. Priyanka. Thank you so very much. I think the discussion can just go on and on. But any last minute or any, as you leave, anything that you would like to share and anything that you would like to add, or you want to sum up about how can we deal with menopause or the symptoms of menopause, how and what are the things that we should be doing, most importantly?
No, first of all, I will appreciate the way you have elaborated the sympathetic and parasympathetic system, because this is the crux, okay, keeping in the balance your Ida and Pingla Nadi, right? Okay, then only the Sushmuna Nadi will be able to do its proper functioning. Even like the stress in the back, the vertebral prolapse, in the disc prolapse and all, we see this all is due to multiple factor, not only the calcium deficiency, but most of the time due to the stress, right? Okay, which is not only the menopause, it happens with everyone and in every age. One of the person has asked the question that can phytoestrogen be introduced in a age of 13 to 18? So my answer will be, it depends that if the female is absolutely okay, no issues of PCOD and all, yes, you can give the phytoestrogen good foods, okay. But if there is any issue, then have to check with the expert, and accordingly we have to decide the diet of that teenager. Okay, so first I will sum up that the session what we have taken, it is a physiological process of the body. As the menarche was, we were in trouble that time also, that what has come on our head, why we are menstruating, the males doesn't do, it is so much for us, right? Okay, but ultimately we understood that this is giving the essence to our life, right? Okay, this is making us the beautiful woman what we are, not only from the outside but from the inside, because the patience, the kind of happiness what the females bring around, right? Okay, this all comes from your hormones. Okay, now when it doesn't means that your complete feminine part is getting ended, but yeah, it goes through multiple changes, which few things you need to accept, few things you need to try to manage, and keep the reservoir from the beginning of the good foods and the good lifestyle, so that even if the ovarian function has been declined, but we are rich in reservoir of our internal hormones, right? Now how they should work there, my message is clean your body, mind, and your soul, okay. So body, how you can clean? You can clean from the detox and panchkarma activities, which is guided by Ayurveda, how you can clean your mind. You can clean it from the meditation and the yoga, how you can clean your soul. You can clean with the deep kind of chakra healing and the positive energy collection and all. So that way you can maximize these all three cleanings. And once the cleaning is done, obviously the energy will flow, the blood will flow, the lymphatic drainage will happen in proper manner, and the impact of these all things will be less. Second part, after cleaning, rejuvenate. Okay, for rejuvenation, healthy food, but not the low calorie food. When we speak on the weight management, when we speak on this, eating less is killer. Okay, you need to eat rather more, because the less you eat, your metabolism is going to be lowering down, right? Okay, so buck up yourself. Okay, sitting down is again not the solution. Work more, but go with your hobbies. Recognize your hobbies so that your happiness index is in sync with your lifestyle. And sleep better. I will not say sleep more, but might be your body may require that nap in the noon time. Enjoy it. Okay, and go for the relaxed deep sleep. As much as you can be active in the morning, that is a bliss. That is going to help you to whatever we have discussed, to manage to assimilate it properly. So I think this all, so I can say you can sum up it with the ABCD. A for activity. Okay. B for breakfast, good breakfast, don't miss your breakfast. C, where you need to be composed and communicative. Okay, don't keep everything in your mind, right?
Don't build stress.
Yes, right. Give the stress to others, distribute, don't worry. Right, okay. And D is the dare, not diet, dare. Okay, so you need to dare to accept the changes and dare to change yourself according to those changes. So this is
most important. Embrace the changes that you're going through, that your body is going through.
yes.
So most of us, when we hit menopause and we see the changes in our weight or the body shape, we are not ready to accept it. And because of that, more and more stress builds up and we end in a vicious circle.
Absolutely.
So embrace your age, embrace your aging. And if your menopause is happening smoothly, even though if it brings about a little changes in the body, but you're still functionally active, you're still able to go down the stairs, you're still able to go for your treks and hikes, if you're functionally active, and if your happiness index, as Dr. Priyanka said, is under check, then you should embrace all the changes that menopause has brought. Okay? It is aging gracefully that you have to embrace and you have to accept.
And guys, I give you a very, very good thing, which you will feel. You all know that females undergo less cardiac surgeries than males. Do we agree? Right? This is due to the fat deposition in our pelvic portion. That is the protector. But only thing, as I mentioned, the culprit is if we are allowing the fat, allowing our waist region also, surrounding the abdomen also, then only it will cause the problem. Otherwise, your shape is a blessing for you. Enjoy it, even if you are little bit more higher in the just kilos or pounds, however you want to measure it.
So next time you look yourself at the mirror, just keep repeating to yourself, I am beautiful. I am so beautiful and I love myself. So that should be the mantra in any age, in any shape. I am beautiful and I just love myself. Accept that, embrace it, and be happy. Thank you so much. We'll just take a few questions. Some of them may be repetitive. The answers to that may be repetitive, but still we'll take the questions. How to manage mood swings?
The first thing is that diet part and the exercise part. Exercise will help to release the endorphin. Obviously, it will manage
happy hormones,
give the happy hormones, and you will not having that kind of mood swings. Then the diet, where the foods are like that, which you take under the dietitian and the Ayurveda expert or any doctor, okay, who can guide you that what all foods can be done, right? Okay. And the third part is very, very important, which is the very measured and planned panchkarma therapies. For example, takradhara, shirodhara. Okay, experience these activities and you will go into the zero zone. With it will help you to detoxify also, and also it will rejuvenate you in the deeper level. I cannot explain it. It is something to be experienced, okay. But you,
Shirodhara is my favorite.
yeah,
Is my favorite. Every time I take Shirodhara, I just feel so much at peace. It's
yes.
just like I have been enveloped with peace. So Shirodhara, for those of you if you don't know, it's like the oil. I think Dr. Priyanka can explain what Shirodhara
I
is.
mean, it is like this center. This is called the Shringatak Marma. This is a very vital points, and we know that on if this point, if somebody shoot the gun, we are gone, right? So that means energy is maximum here. Huh? So the
The Agna Chakra, we can
है
say.
ना? हाँ, the Agya Chakra. So the when the oil or any liquid which is nourished with the herbs is poured continuously here, right? So the toxins will come out and the energy will go deep into your body and you go into the zero zone, which actually is able to take care of the even chronic traumas, and that's way it gives you a lot of strength. This is what we all can do to manage the mood swings and the emotions.
I'm a big fan of Ayurveda and massages. And I must say, if there are days and times, menopause or not, no menopause, if there are days and times where you feel that the stress is just building up, there is no way that you can come out of that stress and it's just building up. Just book yourself a session of Shirodhara, and trust me, you will really find a major changes. Any any kind of a don'ts to this, who should not be doing it?
I mean, for me, the biggest no is that you should, even if you are going for rejuvenation, please consult your expert. The kind of oils, what should be used, the kind of herbs which should be infused in that liquid, right? Okay. If it is going as per your body type and as per your concern, it benefits you more and protect you from any possible harms.
Fair enough, fair enough. So mood swings, I'll sum it up. My favorite, if you are very low on energy, if you're not feeling good, if you're really feeling very stressed out, exercise, do yoga. Find out our recordings, even if there's not a live class. Even if you've done once yoga, again do your yoga. Climbed up and down the stairs, go for a walk, and that is a mood lifter for sure. Have a very good, balanced, nutritious food. And thirdly, go for any of these rejuvenating practices from Ayurveda, especially Shirodhara, which is a definite mood lifter. Thank you so much. How to normalize overbleeding?
See, first of all, we need to check what is the reason. It is usually not the symptom of menopause. Okay. Most of the time, there is an underlying issue. There can be the fibroid, there can be the increased thickness of endometrium. Okay. So if that's so, we need to treat it. But if it is only the symptom of menopause and some irregularities due to the hormonal imbalances, then one is that we need to be more on the fluids, okay, so that the body is not under the dehydration and the vessels are not constricted and giving more bleeding. Second part is take some cooling diet, okay, so which is basically, for example, coriander seeds. Kashayam of coriander seeds works good. Chia seeds water, cucumber, okay, coriander chutney. These all things helps a lot, right? Okay. Sometimes if it allows to your body, even taking the half amount of the milk and mixing it with the water and shaking it up and drinking it 2-3 times, it helps a lot in the higher uh,
Bleeding.
disorder, right? Okay. And same with the buttermilk, it helps a lot. But please consider your expert opinion, right? And then herbs, okay, for example, shatavar, ashwagandha, these all helps to tone up your reproductive system and release the bleeding in a proper manner, and it helps you to control and keep in check the bleeding.
Fantastic. So little few dietary changes, and of course, definitely, check up with an expert. That's very important.
And don't miss on yoga. If that time, if you are not going through the aggressive yoga, go for the calm yoga, restorative yoga, yin yang yoga, right? Okay, yoga nidra, sound healing, pranayam. These all are going to relax your body and definitely going to benefit.
Any particular yoga asanas to minimize or manage the menopause symptoms? This is my favorite, but I would want Dr. Priyanka to answer this.
See, Surya Namaskar. Okay, because it channelizes throughout the energy, right? It keeps everything balanced. But if you are under the stress, then go for the baby pose.
Restorative postures.
Yeah.
Poses.
Yeah.
We have, just to let you know, Dr. Priyanka, we have twice in a month, we have a restorative yoga.
Wow.
The whole class, the whole thing is restorative. And I've made it compulsory for everybody to attend. I mean, in the beginning, we didn't have many people joining in. They would think, oh, it's very relaxing, it's very resting. Why we should just waste our time? We can sleep 1 hour more and we can relax. But then I kept telling them, and now we see a good large number of participation. So restorative yoga is actually what is needed to reduce your menopausal symptoms. Anything wherein you are doing a seated forward bend, those are excellent for raising your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah, it is scientifically proved. And if you do yourself, right? See, sleeping is not focusing on your body. Okay, but when you do the restorative yoga, you put the focused energy on certain portions and relax it deeply. That is the difference, and that brings the difference. Yeah, and I would really would like to tell, I have heard restorative yoga. It has been introduced to me through Pratibha. It was some 10, 12 years back, right? Okay, I said,
Yes.
oh, I would like to know what is this, and then she explained me, and I was really enthusiastic to experience it, and it is amazing.
And now we've brought in two modalities together. Just last week, as part of the International Day of Yoga, we had a session, combination of restorative yoga with sound bath.
Wow.
So already the restorative yoga modality is giving you a lot of de-stress and restoration, and then the sound bath. So the vibration of the singing bowls. And it was an experience. That's what all the participants said. So we will have more of those in future. I think those modalities, again, are the need of the hour.
Yeah, surely.
Is Ayurvedic detox program required?
Yeah, as I mentioned, cleansing, right? Detox is nothing but cleansing. But actual detox happens when with the cleansing, you put the antioxidants also in your body. Okay, you cannot just sweep your home with the broom. You need to have the duster to put it into the dustbin. So that duster is antioxidant, right? Okay, until and unless you don't add up, the toxins are still in your body. So the detox, the Panchkarma therapy give you that bandwidth, and it also can be done along with the diet also. If every time you cannot visit a Panchkarma center, right, then do with the diet, then do the Shank Prakshalan, right? That also is a very good detox. Do the Kunjal, but do under the supervision of expert. That always keep in mind. Don't experiment yourself that this person has told and now I will do. It can harm you.
In fact, we had a Kunjal Kriya session also. Wow. So keeping all these things in mind, the changes and everything and what our lifestyle demands, we were having a few programs just before International Day of Yoga. We had the Kunjal Kriya session, we had the Kunjal Neti and Kunjal, we had the restorative and the sound bath. So I think everything is aligning so very well, Dr. Priyanka. That's really excellent. And
I say that nobody should miss it. This is like they are getting around themselves. People have to go so long for these all to the centers and all, and you are arranging there. So nobody should miss it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Can we take phytoestrogen supplements? I think Dr. Priyanka has already answered, yeah, but you can just say, can be taken.
It can be taken, but just that if there is some concern, which is gynecological concern, then needs to consult the expert.
Otherwise, try to add it through the food. And the food is, of course, your flax seeds and soya and these things.
Yes. So see, flaxseed is so powerful in estrogen. I can't tell you. This has even sometimes created gynecomastia in males, Okay.
Right.
So it has increased estrogen to that level in them. So they have to cut down the soybean and flax seeds.
Right, right. And I want to give my example. During menopause, I saw the thinning of the hair, and my skin quality had also gone down. Just by including flaxseed as a ritual every day in the morning, I've seen the reversal in the hair quality and the skin quality. So that's what estrogen does to you. As you said, estrogen is the elixir for you.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we are done with questions. Anybody else who would like to unmute and ask? We'll just take 2 more questions before we end this session. So we've got one more question here. People with Hashimoto thyroiditis can take flaxseed. What is the alternative? I knew this would come up.
Okay.
What is the alternative?
See, there are multiple things. Okay. But what I will suggest, don't take any random answer. In these kind of concerns, it's very important to get checked your body type, to get checked what are the other associated things, and then only the diet should be advised. So I will not take this question in this session.
In a generic answer, you cannot reply it. So it has to be studied carefully. What is the extent of the thyroiditis and what other symptoms are there? Fair enough, doctor. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think so. That was very informative. Thank
Really
you.
inspired the way you have taken this session, Pratibha, and you have enhanced the answers and information in all the questions what we have discussed. And I feel each and everyone also has enjoyed and participated so well. We can see through the questions.
And we had a very good number. At one point, we had touched 58 participants.
So
8 to 9 on a weekday. It's really, really very nice for you all to take time. Have faith in us that yes, it's going to be informative. It is going to be something which you can take back. So thank you very much. But my Ayurveda questions are still there. Lots and lots and lots of them. So we would definitely want to see you again. We would definitely want to see you again and definitely have more chats. Any one of you here, if you feel that there is some question which you missed out on asking, feel free to message me, DM me. Maybe your questions will be the topic for the next discussion with Dr. Priyanka. And so patiently you have answered all of the questions. Thank you so very much. So very important, I'll just sum it up very quickly. A good lifestyle, which includes exercise, proper sleep, nutritious food, including phytoestrogens in your body, which kind of replenishes the depleting estrogen that we see during menopause, and including strength training in your exercise regime. We do certain strength training even without external weights, using our own body weights in yoga. No points for guessing. Plank is one of them. So we do a lot of strength training with yoga, even without external weights. But on Wednesdays, as you know, we have included dumbbells, and we have made it kind of mandatory for all of you to attend. One day, maybe not enough, but then if you can also add a little more 15 minutes of weight training along with your yoga practice, that would be really a key to have a very, very smooth and a little less symptom-free menopause. So thank you so much. Can we get Dr. Priyanka's contact number? Yes, of course. She is a very, very leading Ayurveda doctor in the city, and she runs a center called Sparsh. It's a detox center. I think Dr. Priyanka can just let us know more about it. And also, the team from Dr. Priyanka is coming on Sunday to the Anahata studio to do a, what do you call that? A Nari Prashikshan. Yes, and it's free for all the students of Anahata. After your 108 Surya Namaskar, the team from Dr. Priyanka will be there. They will do your analysis on Nari Prashikshan, and they will give you a little insight on what is going on in your internal body. And you can please talk about a little bit more about your detox center or the Ayurveda center. please.
So we have this Sparsh Center, which is in Moinabad, and we have here the facility of staying there also and taking the session in OPD level. It includes the Ayurveda, it includes the naturopathy, it includes the physiotherapy. It is an integrative center where we focus on cleansing, along with that, the concern wise treatments. And honestly speaking, this gives me a lot of pleasure when I see the transformation through bringing the balance, okay. So this is not forced, but you enjoy, you relax, and you heal yourself. That is the beauty of Ayurveda, and that which we are following in Sparsh. And we invite you, whenever you get chance, visit it and experience it. Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I want to promote Dr. Priyanka, but my personal experience with the doctor, I've been going to her since now 2 years now. And every time she sees my Nari and she tells me, okay, do you have this? I say, no, I don't have this. And 2 days later, I have that symptom. And then I come back to Dr. Priyanka and say, what magic do you do? What magician are you? How do you know even before I could get the symptom, you know that this is what you're going to get? So very, very knowledgeable.
Close to Ayurveda, Pratibha.
Yes, very experienced, very knowledgeable. And thank you for sharing your time with us. And we really appreciate your time. And I appreciate all of you present here. Thank you so very much.
Guys, happy International Yoga Day. Stay healthy, stay aware. Take care.
Yes.